record straight. You and me, we ain't nothing alike. Let's set the record straight. Those words you say, they hold no weight, they like. Let's set the record straight. You'll never break the man before you're out.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another custom die cast review. Today is a part 2 of one of the custom die casts I did just recently. This is part 2 to the whole AJ Allmendinger and Austin Cindric first place, second place finish, you know, crashing across the line at Bristol. So this is part 2, technically, even though I'm not going to label it part 2 or anything. I could have done a dual diecast review like I did with the Coda race versions from Truex and, of course, Custer. But I mean, I wasn't really too sure, so I feel like just keeping it separate would be a little bit different. And the hood on the AJ Allmendinger was popped pretty high, so, I mean, it could have gotten in the way of the thumbnail, this, that, and the other, just editor stuff. Some of you wouldn't understand, but, you know, some of you do. So, anyway, yeah, this is part 2 to that race win. Or, the race win. So, how I was able to do this, I actually took, it's actually labeled, if you want to read this real quick. I mean, I'll read it for you. The Austin Cindric 2020, or not 2022, 2020, number 22, Menards Phoenix win. This was the championship winning paint scheme. Now, you may be wondering, wouldn't that, you know, the whole quarter panel, like, design, well, it's kind of like marked out, even though it wasn't marked out completely. That's kind of what saved this car, actually. We'll kind of get into that here in a little bit. But even on the other side, you know, there was that huge, like, donut mark on the side there. You can kind of see right there. Now, you may be wondering, well, did that affect the race car at all? No, because that was actually on the Bristol car as well, surprisingly. It looked just, I mean, it was super identical. So I got really lucky with how the Phoenix win came out with the Bristol race version. So, yeah, I got incredibly lucky. Because there is absolutely no way in the world I would have been able to make this diecast if that donut mark wasn't there, and if Lionel actually blacked out the quarter panel entirely. So, just because of those two things, one, Lionel's mistake, technically, or they don't do it anymore, one, and just two, of how lucky, you know, the tire mark was, or how similar the tire mark was to the Phoenix win, it was too easy, almost. It was actually really simple. All I had to do was paint the splitter, spoiler, and replace the front banner. I mean, it was really as simple as that, and it kind of caught me off guard, because I'm like, ooh, I don't know how this is going to work. I don't even know if I can do this. And then I looked up the reference pictures from Cindric's car, and then I looked up the Phoenix car, and I'm like, dude, that is super similar, and that's, like, incredible. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to tackle this project and see if I can actually do it correctly. So yeah, here is pretty much the finished product. Of course, we'll get in a closer look here in a little bit. Now, I'm still thinking about detailing my boxes, because at the same time, that's still, like, a lot of work, because after you're done with the diecast, you spent so much time on it, you're like, okay, boom, I'm done. But at the same time, you kind of want to customize the box a little bit, too, to make it, you know, look a little better, or, you know, kind of make it look more appealing to the eye. So I don't know if I'll actually start, which, I mean, I might, because I got a drawer that's just full of customs that I need to throw up for eBay, and I might just actually put some of the decals on here, which, I mean, I don't think I'll sell this one, because I do have the Allmendinger one still, and so until I sell that one, even if I do, or if I do decide, I'll probably either do it as a set, which I think is more appropriate, or I could do it just separately, but I feel like a set is kind of more in order for the 1-2 finish. Not only that, they crossed across the line at the same time, just Allgaier, what? Did I say Allgaier before? I meant Allmendinger. I'm sorry if I said Allgaier, but Allmendinger in the front, so I feel like it would have been a lot more accurate to just kind of sell it as a set, but again, I have not decided yet. That should come, you know, in some later time. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this diecast, and take a look at what I've done with some of the detail for this specific car. Here's the diecast out of the box, and honestly, both sides of this diecast is actually pretty raced up. Now, I do want to say one thing I did not add to this diecast, because it's just the day glow. I didn't want to kind of ruin the car just because I had a weird yellow versus a day glow, kind of like how Lionel does that weird outline that like everybody absolutely hates. So I did not want that to repeat on my projects, but I do believe there was a sponsor on the deck lid, and I don't remember which one it was, but I was going to actually print it out and put it on the deck lid, but then I got to thinking, well, this isn't just a yellow, this is a Dayglow yellow, which is going to be incredibly different than what my decal, or what my printer is going to be. And it's probably going to it's probably even going to look worse on camera, so I decided just to avoid that eyesore entirely and just kind of leave it blank. Now, if you know me, I love my detail, so I really wanted to put that logo on the deck lid, but it's just like, I mean, I feel like I wouldn't have been able to do it, and it's just, you know, simple as that, because even though technically it would have been correct, it would have looked terrible too. A little bit of a throwback here, no pun intended actually. The Darlington race, it wasn't the throwback race, but the Darlington race that Hamlin won, and he won in that, what was the sponsor? OfferPad. It was the OfferPad paint scheme, and they released it in the Authentics line, and I took that Authentics car, made it into the race win, but at the same time, I had to redo the hood. Now, the orange was very bright on the car, and my printer printed it really dark. So that made it look pretty horrible. It still sold somehow. I don't know how. But it still looks pretty bad. So I really don't want to have that again. So just to avoid that again, I just skipped it out on the deck lid. Again, it kills me. But, you know, I had to do what I had to do in order to make my custom make a little bit better for an image and not have an eyesore on the deck lid. So there's my little defense for having one logo missing. But anyway, yeah, so on to the actual car itself. Got Richmond water heaters, got a lot of race wear up on that hood. Got Pennzoil, got Ford covered in some race damage as well. Got Cindric, and again, I know it's not a great banner, but it's there. You can see some of the interior detail there. I got that red and blue on the actual dashboard, and I like how this is a race version before, so it added that little camera decal. I like that. It looked pretty good. I got the 22 there. Cindric. Oh, here's part of that outline I'm talking about. So you see that kind of like a mustard yellow on that Dayglow. That's exactly what I mean. If I put that on the deck lid, it wouldn't have been just a little outline. It would have been a whole decal, and it just would have looked pretty bad. So, yeah, that's why I skipped it on that. We got Cindric there on the back. Nothing on the deck lid. Once again, I explained why. So I got the black spoiler back here. Again, I had to paint it from the red. Menards, it looks like the taillights are actually a little low. I don't know if that's just me, but it looks pretty low. So I got the Ford logo there, or Michigan Ford license plate, and then you got the 22. So I got Menards, Richmond water heater, experts, just a bunch of damage right there. Got, what was that, 5 winter stickers? Right? Good Lord, I didn't know he won that many races. It almost would have been 6 or 7 if he won Phoenix and Bristol. But of course, you know, if I could talk, Allmendinger, I keep wanting to say Allgaier for whatever reason. Allmendinger won Bristol, and then of course, Hemrick won Phoenix. But either way, got these used up tire here, just the tire details just super blacked out. So you got a whole bunch of just dirt, grime, got a couple of the, the donut marks covering the 22. Now, believe me, if you have not seen the reference pictures, you would know this is actually somewhat accurate because it's just a really dirtied up car. Now, of course, I went a little overboard, but I always do that. So, yeah, here's this I couldn't fix. NASCAR Xfinity Series Championship. Now, originally, I could remove that, but it has this little decal right here, this little red piece. That would have removed that little red piece too, and it would have looked bad, so I decided to keep it. I did black out the round of logo there. So, you know, there's that. Technically, I could have put a NASCAR race car, but I just didn't really feel like doing it, to be honest with you. So, there's another raced up tire there. Got a lot of damage around the wheel well. Got Goodyear there. Got the number 12. Again, we got the painted splitter there. That actually looks pretty darn good, I'm not going to lie. Now, I don't really like the front ends on these Fords because if it's black, it's really hard to tell. Like where the headlight is, where the grill is, where the number's pretty easy to find. But that opening is just really hard to see. So, on a black front end, I'm not really a fan of how the Fords look, but I mean, on anything else, it looks pretty good. Got more race-up tires here. All 4 of them were pretty much burnt out, and you got a lot of race damage there. I got the window net down. Got a couple more donut marks along the side. Discount tire, money line, snap on. You got Menards there. Of course, you got a little bit of a cutout for the quarter panel. Richmond water heaters, or the water heater experts, and then you got a little bit of fuel spillage there. Then you got this tire, which does have the little tire tape. Not a lot, but it is there nonetheless. Then you can see on the inside, it's really hard to tell, but you can see you got the detail. Again, it's really hard to see because it's just, these cars are so low when it comes to the window. But basically on the inside, I do have the gear shifter painted, the roll cage painted, and the steering wheel painted as well. But of course, that is not all. We have to take a look at the undercarriage detail. So let me show you that just right quick. So under here, it's just the same stuff I always do, nothing crazy. You got the silver transmission and drive shaft, and you got the red fuel cell, or the fuel tank, and you got the little red piece in front of the axles. The axles are painted black, the support for the axles are painted black, and whatever these things up here are painted black as well, along with the little brace underneath the transmission, once again, is black. And yeah, so I don't know if I talked about it before. I think I have, but I thought about changing up a little bit of the undercarriage detail accordingly to, like, say if it's Ford, maybe have like a blue gas tank, or if it's Chevy, have a silver gas tank, or if it's a Toyota, have a red one. You know, it's kind of whatever. I haven't really decided just yet, but it is underneath the car, so it doesn't really matter nonetheless. But, I mean, either way, I feel like this diecast kind of came out pretty good. So, with that being said, I do believe that will be all for this diecast review, this custom diecast review. So, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.